guys, welcome to another episode of What's Your Issue? My name is Troy McEady.
And my name is Dara Laine. Hello, hello. I'll never do an intro that I feel isn't completely awkward and uncomfortable, I think.
It always feels like you're testing a new intro, which I love. Like I love to see like what you'll do each week
Yeah.
because it's always like some sort of like I'm trying this new thing.
And yet it just popped out of this old mouth of mine. I mean for every single time, I mean for it to be grounded, mature, professional, and it's just like
You're like, and I'm doing this.
literal.
How are you?
Oh, I'm good. How are you?
Good. It's a really gloomy, gray, day, like cold day in New York. My favorite kind of weather. I love like Gotham
Oh,
vibes. So when we are done, I'm gonna throw on a long coat. You know what I mean? A below the knee coat,
oh,
and
I'm jealous.
and I'm gonna go out there and let the wind take my coat and be really like insular and like in my head in a music video.
Oh, I'm jealous. In Los Angeles, I've maybe had to wear a coat twice. More like a light sweater. It's been light sweater weather.
You know what's so crazy about living here and like coming from a place like I grew up in a place that has all seasons. Like Ohio is just like all the cliche. It's like in the summer it's hot, in the winter it's cold, in the spring it rains, like in the
Those
fall it's
cliche
leaves.
seasons.
Like it's just all of the seasons exactly as they should be. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
like here it's the same, but people here because everybody's outside all the time, people are so practical. Like I've
Mm.
never lived in a place where people are so practical about the weather. Like they don't care. It could be July. If it's cold, New Yorkers are just like getting their coat out. Like, and I look
Wow.
out the window and I know what to wear because everybody is dressed exactly as the weather. It's like, oh, it's coat day. We're doing coats today, you know?
Well, you're a much more fashionable city. You're thinking about the look, about the
That is true.
vibe.
People care. Yeah.
Out here, we're just working from home in our aloe wear and
Yeah.
maybe wearing like a little shrug over it or a little windbreaker, you
You know
know?
what I like about LA though is that people are slovenly. I like that. I
Very
love
slovenly
it.
town.
But you don't know that unless you go because the idea of Los Angeles is that you guys are all walking around in Hervé Leger dresses and like
Mm-mm.
staggering in platform heels everywhere. But that is literally the complete opposite of Los Angeles vibes.
No, we could really take our workout clothes from day to night, baby.
I
Um,
love it.
I do too. You don't have to think too hard about it. I suppose like I would like a little more joie de vivre sometimes, the New York state of mind, be like a little Carrie
Yeah.
Bradshaw. But then you have to keep up with it. And ugh.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. I don't know. I just love and I love the like casualness of LA and
Mm.
like people just look I don't know. Like everybody looks like they just grabbed a bunch of shit from the floor and put it on, but like in a cool way. Like and it's
I
comfy and
Yeah.
it's like comfy vibes.
I suppose to a degree, some might say, well, because we're a commuting city, people just sort of throw stuff into their car and like go from one
Uh-huh.
thing to the next. So it's hard to go home from work and then go to happy hour in a different outfit or like a more dressed up outfit.
Mm-hmm.
But at this point, I say no one works. And if they do, it's from
Yeah.
home. So that's like not really an excuse anymore. We have the time to pull together an outfit, but at this point, it'll never happen. Morale's low.
Yeah, it's true.
We're all on the same page. We're like, sweatpants. Okay.
Well, that's the other thing that I love about LA is that the wealthier and the more successful you are, the more slovenly you are. Like it's like the slovenliness is a flex,
Mm-hmm.
and the clothes are vintage and expensive, and like designer, but they're slovenly. Whereas in New York, everybody has to like show their wealth. Like it's much more like, see the label, see. Whereas in LA, it's like you could be wearing like, you know, shitty sweatpants and like Birkenstocks with the sweatpants cost $1,000 and it's like very Mary Kate vibes. Like I love it.
Very Mary Kate, Adam Sandler on the other end of the spectrum. A little Jennifer
Yeah.
Aniston. Like me, I'm just in
Yeah.
a white t-shirt that's $500 and some cargo
Exactly.
pants.
Yes. Yes.
Which is fun. I like it. It fits into how I put myself together.
Yeah. When I'm there, I'm just very like I'm just peace signs. I'm very Miley like 2013 peace signs flannel. You know what I mean?
You hopped off the plane at LAX with a dream
Yes.
in your cardigan and
And my
sneakers.
extensions down to my belt.
Ugh. Ugh. I love some big. I feel like we don't really live in an extensions town anymore. The
I
hair is
know you
the
really
hair is a
don't.
lot more natural than it used to be, which I
Hmm.
miss.
That is, I mean, not to go on a crazy tangent, but that era of Miley where her extensions were just at her knees and just beautiful. I just love that moment so much. Like that's like peak LA fashion to me at that time.
I think maybe what happened is once the Mormon girls commandeered it and everybody
Oh
had hair
God.
down to their waist with big
Yeah.
barrel curls, we were like, oh,
Ugh.
we can't keep doing this.
It is so the Mormon hair is something that I think we'll look back on in like 10 years and be like, that was crazy. When white girls were like, how about I don't blend the extensions and don't style them, just go straight from the bag to the skull and let them be literally hitting the floor.
It is wild because, I feel like we've been watching Mormon content way before it was cool with our gals, the Browns. And and long before there was Mormon girl hair, I I would watch the show and I would think, why does Christine and all of her daughters have the most inappropriately long hair that just looks as if they like don't want to cut it, like as if
Hmm.
it's some sort of security blanket or perhaps religious.
Hmm.
I wondered if it was like a religious thing, but then now everybody is doing it and all the Mormon girls are doing it, but they're doing an elevated version of it where it's hair
Yeah.
extensions. It's not just like, honey, we've got the stringy hair. Like at a certain point, it can't grow healthily and it just looks like tassels on the
Like
bottom
we
of
at
like a
least
curtain.
I beg for a layer. I just beg for layers. I beg for some dimension. Like single length, waist length hair is wild.
It is true. I just wonder what people see when they look in the mirror where they go, no, just like long is, I think they think like long is pretty.
Yeah.
Look how long I can get it.
Well, Dara, now that we've covered LA leisure fashions and hair
Mm-hmm.
and Mormon hair, the
Mm-hmm.
things we can do in just 10 minutes, you and
Oh,
I have a pressing question to ask you.
ooh la la. Troy, lay it on me, daddy.
Not to be too forward, but Dara, what's your issue?
Well, a lot of childhood trauma. Just kidding. My issue is New York Magazine, September 20th, 1999, and it is titled The Summer of Her Discontent by Kevin Gray. And, we're dipping back into the well of New York Magazine. We're slowly becoming just exclusively like a New York Magazine Vanity Fair
Hmm.
podcast, which we'll get away from that eventually. But today we just had to talk about this article all about Miss Anna Wintour. Troy, I know you've been reading her unauthorized biography by Amy
Hmm.
Odell. So you're
Yes.
steeped in this world right now. What are your
Yes.
thoughts on Anna? Anna who would hate Los Angeles fashion.
Well, yeah, I'm super deep into the Anna Wintour of it all. I can't suggest the biography enough. It is the most no stone left unturned biography I've ever read in my life. Like it is every year of this woman's life is detailed, and I feel like I know her now. And I'm not even finished with the book. I haven't even gotten to like the mid 2000s yet. I'm still in the 90s, early 2000s, and it's so riveting. And yeah, I've learned that she's a very multifaceted person, and there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot to her personality that I think people would be really shocked to know if they didn't know about her. I think that, you read her as being this like cold, sort of emotionless woman that is very staunch and like uptight and, has a really like pinkies up opinion about fashion. Um, but, she really is also like this bleeding heart liberal. Like
Yeah.
she loves politics and she always wanted Vogue to be political. She is into street artists and graffiti, and she just has a really interesting, she's a really kooky lady. She's kooky.
Yeah, which is an interesting thing to bring up with this article because the theme of it is who Anna is, like the human side of her. Because at this point she was already an icon. She had been
Hmm.
editor in chief of American Vogue for about 10 years.
Yep.
Um, and she had already reached icon status and she already had her reputation as being an icy, an icy woman in charge who no one can look her in the eye. But during this time period, it's sort of discovered through the press that she's having an affair. And this article talks a little bit about the human side of her that started to show through to her staffers, to outsiders during this summer of her discontent.
What's your like relationship with her? Like, what do you think about Anna? Or like, were you interested in her? Or like,
I was definitely interested in her. I loved Vogue. Though I will say Vogue was never as much as my thing as, say, W or Harper's Bazaar. But I still, as Carrie Bradshaw would say, some days I wouldn't buy dinner. I'd buy Vogue with my last dollar. I felt like it fed me more.
you don't get it. You just don't
You
get
don't get it.
it.
You don't get it.
um, yeah, I feel like I was also like growing up, like again, as Carrie Bradshaw would say, it wasn't my favorite thing on the menu, but I'd order it from time to time. Like
Yeah.
it's like I was a bizarre girly. I really loved Elle. Like Elle was probably my
I
favorite.
loved Elle. Yeah, Elle was probably, yeah,
I loved Elle and I loved Bizarre. And I liked Vogue. Like Vogue for me was like if somebody was on the cover that I cared about, I would buy it and like have it as a keepsake. And I always was interested in the September issue of Vogue, but
of
uh,
course.
it wasn't like I have to have every single issue of Vogue vibe.
No, and I think that probably fit in with our age group because it talks about in the article Anna's protege, Kate Betts. She, people were talking about her being the successor to Anna, but then she sees that that is maybe not going to happen for a very long time, and she's sort of sick of Anna's antics. It says in the article, Kate Betts bolted for the editor-in-chief's job at rival Harper's Bazaar, an all-about Eve scenario that the catty fashion world lapped up with delight. Um, Kate Betts was like 35 years old when she went over there, and she really wanted to do she was clashing with Anna because she wanted to do some stuff that felt a little younger and more edgy, and Anna did not want to do that. She didn't think that the readers were interested in some of the things that she wanted to cover. So then she brought more of a younger vibe to Harper's. So I feel like that would like I remember reading Vogue and being like, I like it, but it doesn't have the sort of, I don't know, youthful joie de vivre that I was looking for.
Which is so fascinating because I think that's like the duality of Anna that I find so interesting, and that I even myself reading this book still like I kind of don't understand. Where there's a part of her that's like really like there is a part of her that's like weirdly edgy, and like she
Yeah.
loves like underground artists, and she loves like street photography, and she had this obsession when she first got to Vogue with like doing hiring photographers to do like New York City like out on the street like raw photos and all of that. But then there's this other side of her that is very like pro consumerism, very uptight, very staunch, very like just like uptight, and she's always like walking that line. And I guess what's so fascinating about her reign at Vogue is that the changes that she chose to make with that magazine, like, put like centering celebrity and like
Yeah.
putting celebrities on the cover, and you know, um she like got involved in like the online shopping of it all before that was a thing, and people thought it was really odd that Vogue was doing that and like
Yeah.
embarrassing. She was very innovative and forward thinking, but also uptight and not wanting to move things too far. It was really interesting.
Yeah. I was reading about her feelings of grunge fashion and how she's like basically it's trying to kill it. She's because she thinks like women shouldn't be dressing like that.
Yeah,
They should do their hair.
yeah, she was like, we're doing the complete opposite of that, just so all of you know.
She did not see the appeal. Um, but to your point about the online shopping, to put into context of the time period of the article, so 1999, it says, this week, as the world's fashion press gathers in New York for Fashion Week, Wintour is sure to be the prime topic of discussion. For the first time, Vogue's website will feature live video reports from the Bryant Park catwalks, which, yeah, like, I was surprised that it was 1999. They were already starting that. I feel like you would expect that maybe more in the 2000s, early
Hmm.
2000s, for a magazine to start incorporating live video on a website.
And they were like a laughing stock. Like the industry was like that will never take off. What a waste of time. Like people were making fun of her for thinking that you could do that. So it's like things like that where she sort of set the industry standard. Like it's so interesting us hosting this podcast, and like so much of what is just sort of um like what you would expect in a lot of the magazines that we read is like stuff
Yeah.
that she set up. And I'm discovering that through reading this book where I'm like, God, like my love of magazines and what I view magazines as, like what in my mind, what they are, a lot of it
Yeah.
is just because of what she decided at Vogue while she was there or in the beginning stages.
Now, what do you think of her long tenure? Are you surprised that she's still out there doing it?
I think she's one of those people, and there's a quote about this in the article where it's like, I just don't think that there's anything else that she was like born to do. And I think she has an awareness of that. And I
Yeah.
think her whole life she's taken, because a really interesting thing is reading about her time at other magazines. Like, she
Yeah.
worked at all these other magazines and like turned them around and like, gave them an identity and then bounced, like Home and Garden
Well,
and
but
stuff
they
like
hated
that.
what she did at Home and Garden. And then like the readers hated what she did because it was
Yeah.
too frou-frou stylish. But I forget who was in charge, was like, well, I see what you were doing here. And it was cool.
Yeah.
Doesn't work
Yeah.
for homes and gardens, but I'll take note.
Yes. Yeah, like you should take that to your next gig. You might be on to something kind of thing,
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know?
she's the Lorne Michaels or Jeff Probst of the fashion
Yeah,
magazine
totally.
industry.
That's a really no, it's true. And I think that she knew, and everybody around her knew that every job she had up until Vogue was only a stepping stone for her to get to Vogue. Like she was always very honest about like her end goal and what her real passion was and like what was really interesting and like what her goal was just Vogue and like everything else was kind of a in between. But the Anna Wintour of it all is that every job she had, she would treat like she would go in and create an orbit around her.
Yeah.
No matter how high up she was, she treated the magazine as if she was running it, and she would create an orbit around her where she basically was running it, no matter what people felt about it. And like that is insane.
It's something to keep in mind if you're trying to climb the corporate ladder. Although I will say, I think in a lot of ways it could have backfired. But like the woman who was there, who was the editor of Vogue right before her, Grace Mirabella.
Mhm.
As Wintour recounted the story, Mirabella asked the young editor exactly what job she wanted at the magazine. Wintour smiled brightly and replied, "Yours." Oh, and then it says the exchange proved prescient. Ordered to hire Wintour by Lieberman, Mirabella watched helplessly as her ambitious underling undermined her authority. Quote, "She'd go behind my back and redo layouts, bring in new art, circumvent me and my fashion editors," wrote Mirabella in her 1995 book In and Out of Vogue. "When she couldn't bypass my editors, she'd harass and criticize them." Now, actually, I do take that back. I don't know that that is the best career advice to copy paste for any person. I think you really have to be a special type to pull that
Yeah.
off.
You got to be a special kind of person to be like, I'm not here to make friends. It's interesting. Like, so the editor that Anna, the editor that was working at Vogue when Anna got there, actually, all of the magazines that Anna was like a part of before she got there, the style of like being in charge was much different, where it was a person really like delegating jobs to other people.
Mm-hmm.
And Anna is not that girl. Like Anna will hire up, like she'll hire Herb Ritts to do a photo shoot, but it will be in her image. Like it will be every single thing will be exactly as she sees it, and like down to like if they've spent $10,000 on a shoe, if she hates the earring, they will go back to Saudi Arabia or wherever they were to fix that photo and change the earring. Like she doesn't delegate jobs and let people do their thing. She delegates them and then controls every single moment of it. Like there's literally not a period or a dotted I in Vogue that she doesn't oversee. Every page is in her image.
Which must be fun for the people working under her.
Can you imagine?
Literally no. But speaking of Herb Ritts, let me send you the cover of this so you can take a look.
Okay.
Gorgeous.
I gay gasped. I literally is Herb?
Well, so what's really interesting about it
Jesus
is
Christ.
if you look in the credits, so inside the magazine, there's some other photos of her. They're not from Herb. They're from...
Oh, they're Mario Testino.
Yes. So that's
Okay.
inside the magazine. And then if you look at the credits, like towards the beginning where it gives the credits for the cover, it does not name Herb Ritts. It says photograph visages, produced by Jordan Shape, stylist, and Andre Leon Talley. But it does not say Herb Ritts. However, in the book by Amy Odell, it talks about how Anna had already done the interview and she knew like what this article was going to be, and she was not thrilled about it. Like, it was all going to be about this affair and everything. So she wasn't psyched. And they basically said to her, listen, nobody reads the article anyway. They buy the magazine or look at the magazine for the cover, and they just, the article is like an afterthought. So you want to look as good as possible on the cover, and because they had some other photos that they were going to use for her that she wasn't happy with. So she agrees with him, and then it talks about how she chooses Herb Ritts for the photo shoot, but then he's not credited anywhere.
That is very interesting. The cover is like taking my breath a little bit.
Isn't it crazy how gorgeous it is? So in the cover, she's just in a white tank top, a very simple white tank top. Her arms are cut.
She's giving like 90s Madonna power lesbian. She looks like Madonna during like the her girly show. She's like,
it is so power lesbian. It's crazy how power lesbian. But she doesn't have her glasses on, which also feels a little bit like, when your dad has a mustache and then one day he shaves it off and you're like, that's not what you look like. This is a different version. This is like Uncanny Valley. It's a little that. But she looks gorgeous, and apparently they didn't do too many shots, and it says Andre styled her, but really it was just he was there to be moral support because she was in such a bad mental place at the time, or just like in a vulnerable place.
No, yeah, for sure. And like that's another big discovery for me, is realizing how emotionally dependent she was on Andre Leon Talley. Like nobody ever was able to really get close to Anna, and people, not nobody, I mean people in her life were able to get close to her, but professionally there was like a very, very, very clear wall up, and she would do little things that would show like that would like humanize her enough that people would be like, oh my god, like I had a moment with Anna where she like laughed at my joke, or like, took her glasses off to look at my phone and look at my, like little moments like that where you're like, oh my god, she is a human. But Andre got all of Anna, and she wouldn't make decisions without Andre. She was this woman who was like so staunchly like independent was so, I need this man. Like she was so emotionally dependent on her gay husband.
In the article as well, it talks about him, and then also Oscar de la Renta and Isaac Mizrahi. Like those seem to be her three boys.
Yeah. And she, I guess, to talk about that to me ties to the affair, because in the book they talk about it in the article as well, that this guy is the total opposite of what any person who knows Anna would think that she's attracted to. He is eccentric, loud, like overbearing, throws money around. Like he's like a rings on every finger. I mean, it's Dorinda and John. Like,
yeah. To go back a little bit, her husband at the time was a very like dorky looking child psychiatrist, child therapist, who actually, I was looking him up, he's instrumental in the research and understanding of why teens and children kill themselves.
oh, that's interesting.
Because back when he was doing research on it in the 70s, people just thought of it as like a completely random thing. that couldn't be prevented or anything. Basically, he was just instrumental in showing that that was not the case. So he was very respected in his field, which Anna liked. And then in the book, someone says that they're shocked to find out that Anna like goes to a party and Bill Gates is there, and she's like, "Oh my God, he's so hot."
Yeah.
And the person goes, "Oh, so she's just like attracted to power." But the
Yeah.
guy who she has the affair with, J. Shelby Bryan, he was also hot
Mm-hmm.
and very rich. I mean, her husband, David Schaefer, wasn't like, she had the money. She was the breadwinner. But I think ultimately what was happening is Mama's getting fucked.
Oh, for sure. Anna loves men. Like,
I
and the
love it.
thing about her is that I view Anna Wintour through like the lens of being this like lady that's always in like tweed. But 90s Anna was a woman out in these streets showing her legs at night and like fucking and like rolling into work at the exact same time every day, having had like a crazy night where she was like out all night smoking cigarettes with men. Like she was always dating and always hooking up and like always in like a tryst with a man. Like
That's how she
Anna is
got with
horny.
her first husband, right? She was having an affair with him on her.
Yeah,
I mean, but
I love that.
my I love this quote. It says, "In the weeks after they met, Brian showered her with flowers and gifts. As the relationship progressed, Wintour's employees saw a noticeable transformation. Out went the dark glasses. In came highlighted hair and a decidedly un-Wintour-like glow. Quote, it became pretty obvious, a Vogue staffer reports. She started shutting her door when she got these phone calls. Another staff member says the cat was out of the bag when she began returning from long lunches with her usually meticulous hairdo noticeably askew. I just love the power of getting fucked. That she's
Yeah, I'm
suddenly like,
obsessed.
my hair is highlighted and I'm taking off the glasses.
I'm obsessed. Like she I guess the my biggest takeaway in learning about her, especially with like the men, is that I feel like when she gets the opportunity to let it all go, to not be Anna Wintour, to take off the glasses, like hike up her skirt
Shake out the
and
bob.
like shake the bob a little bit, you know what I mean? Maybe put a bump in it, you know what I mean? A little curl. Like she is really just like at the end of the day, she's like a giggly, dainty girl still that wants to like be wined and dined and like they talk a lot in the book about how she gravitates towards big personalities, the opposite of
Mm,
hers. She likes eccentric weirdo people. That's why she loved Andre so much because he was such a big personality. And I think to her, a person just from like what I gather about like reading about her relationships, I think it's like it's the opposite of her, right? It's like
yeah.
the total opposite. So like obviously you're attracted to that, but even more so, it's like a person who is willing to be that bold and like that themselves is like coming from a place of like honesty and authenticity. And I think that's why she trusted Andre's opinion so much because he was knowledgeable and he knew so much about fashion, but he was just authentic. Like he gave real, honest opinions, real feedback. Like he didn't bullshit
Yeah.
her. He didn't just say things to like make her happy. He gave his real, and I think that's how she feels about this guy. Like there's an
Yeah.
authenticity to his boldness, you know?
Yeah. And it seems like she had a nice sort of almost working relationship with her first husband where he was intellectual and they liked to do like crosswords together and they would talk about
Right.
her career and he would help, plot with her and but he'd also be at home and take care of the kids and sort of facilitate her rise.
hmm
Um and then the second some good dick walks around that block, he's gone.
And I mean, who hasn't? I mean,
Savage.
isn't that right, girls?
Oh, but the thing that I love about the article within the theme of it, of this is Anna, like seeing the human behind the glasses, it also gives little inklings of that with the other characters as well, like the wife of Jay Shelby, Catherine, who, and then also her first husband. So they talk about when they found out about the affair, when both the first wife and her first husband find out. I guess her husband, David, hears a message on the answering machine from Shelby, and he realizes, okay, Anna's having an affair. And it says, David Schaefer phoned Catherine Bryan in a panic. Quote, he was just like, oh my God, your husband and my wife are fucking each other, says a lifelong friend of Catherine's. Quote, he's supposed to be this brilliant shrink, so the whole thing was really weird, but he was obviously upset and disturbed by it all. He didn't want his marriage to end. Brian listened sympathetically, but told Schaefer she didn't feel comfortable discussing the matter. I don't know. It's seeing behind the curtain of, no matter how, like, he was a very respected therapist.
Right.
And when it came down to it, he realizes this crazy news, and he's just in a panic, like, what's going on? And like being completely inappropriate. And then you find out later in the article that the wife was a couples therapist, and
Right.
he had already cheated on her, and she took him back, and then she finds out he's cheating again. She's like, okay, well, we can make this work if you go to couples therapy with me. And he's like, no.
Yeah.
And he goes there, and it's like, and at the end of the day, she's a couples therapist, and look at her relationship. She's, chasing this guy around. Stars, they're just like us. The rich, they're just as messed up.
That really is what it gives. It's like, oh, you got, no matter how hoity-toity you are, no matter how pinkies up you are still messy boots. You are still having messy ass, having to jump out of bed and grab your clothes and go out the back door type drama. You know what I
Oh,
mean? Like, you're
oh yeah.
just one of us. You're one of us. One of
One of
us.
us. Well, and then my favorite thing to that point is what it talks about, how Anna gets caught doing a walk of shame.
Yeah, they say early one November morning, several months into the affair, a sharp-eyed acquaintance spotted Anna Wintour and her alleged paramour exiting the elegant Park Vendome apartments. Within hours, reports of the sighting were buzzing around the city. Ironically, Wintour may have been undone by her own fashion sense. The acquaintance had done a double take when she spotted a waifish woman draped in a chinchilla wrap, clearly meant for the evening. It's so funny. That's the other thing is like 90s Anna was really out in these streets, and like she was she liked to be seen, she liked to go out. She wasn't like a drinker or a drug person, but she
Mm,
liked to be out amongst like the people at the cool spots, like with the cool people, doing the cool things, schmoozing,
at
networking.
Moomba.
Yeah, exactly. And like wouldn't engage in like drug use or anything. She would eat like a burger patty, with like some
Well,
lettuce or whatever.
that was it. It talks about her usual lunch order, which was burger, no bun, and a baked
Yeah.
potato. And that was what she got all
Yeah,
the time, which
every time.
hate to do this, but it's another classic. Dara thinks everyone's autistic, and
Oh God.
you tell me that a woman always wears her sunglasses and gets the same thing for lunch every single day and is very meticulous and successful. I mean, I don't know. I don't
I
know.
don't I don't think you can do a job the way Anna does it and not be a little autistic. Autistic people are brilliant, and like she's a good example of it. Like the meticulous, obsessive nature at which she runs that magazine is like not a normal brain. It is a brain that is functioning on a different speed because it's. And the other thing too that I find so fascinating is like in our minds, like when I, in my mind, when I think of like the editor in chief of like Harper's Bazaar or L or W or whatever, like I think of like a chic person. I think of a person
Yeah.
that has like a fashion sense or whatever, but that wasn't a thing. Like editors were not fashionable people. So the fact that Anna would show up to work every single day in a head to toe, very expensive, over the top look, heels every single day, like non negotiable. Like she would walk through the office and everybody would just like be afraid to look but couldn't help but look because it's like this woman, we're all dressed like slobs and she's showing up to work. And, she created the culture of like working at Vogue and having to wear all these expensive clothes to work in an office all day where nobody sees you.
Yeah, I'm both mesmerized by it and
I know.
exhausted by it.
I
Where does
know.
a lady find the time? Like that is, I think it says in the article that editors were dressing like they dressed like bag ladies notoriously before her.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, yeah, because they were busy. They had
Yeah.
things to do.
Yeah. They're not like living the culture like that, you know? I just I just think about what it would have been like to be working at the magazine during that very specific time, like where things were sort of like uncertain and things were
Mhm.
changing and people were like freaking out because she put Madonna on the cover or like Cameron
Yeah.
Diaz and it was like so controversial that it was a celebrity and like people freaking out and being so terrified of her.
Yeah, another great part of the article that I enjoyed, they're talking about the culture of the office of, don't look her in the eye. And it says one young editor who made the mistake of greeting Wintour in an elevator was upbraided by one of Wintour's two personal assistants. Another agonized over how to react when she saw the boss trip in a hallway, decided to walk past Wintour. When she told a senior editor what had happened, she was told, "You did absolutely the right thing." Can't you just picture that? Just like Anna eating shit and just someone just like walking right over her like she's fashion roadkill. It's like perfect. That's you were supposed to do that.
The way I would have not done that, I would have been like, "Oh my God, Anna, are you okay?" I would have ran to her, got on the ground with her, tried to pick her up. You like made it worse, like I would have accidentally assaulted her while I'm trying to take her hand and like help her up like a lady. Like it would have literally been like I would have humiliated her worse.
Oh my God, your sunglasses. They're cute. Are
Here,
you
let me
okay?
put them on
That
you.
was a tough fall.
Let me fix your bob, sweetie.
You would you would not last a day in that office.
Not at all. Not at all. Unless I could channel some Andre Leon Talley fabulosity. Like, if I could just pretend to be this big avant garde, I'm like, darling.
Well, now I'm picturing you in a cape doing doing a whole character, and I think that could work, but you would really have to commit.
Like, I show up with like a Louis Vuitton trunk and like a fur, and I'm like,
Mhm.
it's me, your emotional guidance. I love it. God. No wonder they decided to make a movie about her. She's quite interesting. I mean, it really is something else.
It she really is unlike anybody.
Yeah, there's nobody like her. And to learn more about her is to only want to know more. Like
Yeah.
everything I learn about her makes me more interested in the next thing I'll learn. She's such a Rubik's Cube. And they don't really talk a lot about it in the article. They do mention her father, but like
Oh, yeah.
learning about the importance of her, like first of all, there is no Anna Wintour, senior editor at Vogue, without her dad.
Yeah.
And like this idea that all of the work that she's done her whole life and even at Vogue was just to like follow in her father's footsteps. And like her dad was actually such a prolific, like such a big deal in the like print space, you know, like
Yeah.
he worked for so many publications and did so much. And she's just her dad. Like she is just her dad with a bob and sunglasses. She's exactly like her father.
Yeah. And her mom, interestingly enough, was this humanitarian. And
Yeah.
then her sister did human rights activism in
Hmm.
Africa for her career. But they would all make fun of Anna that she was so um, superficial. It
Yeah.
is interesting that she went the way that she did, because even it sounds like her father, even though he was this huge person, this influential person in the publishing industry, he still was pretty serious seeming.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't seem like it was, you know, I don't know, like a super glamorous household necessarily.
No, it did feel very serious and like even the politics of it all, it was all very serious. You know, it was very like the work is so important kind of thing.
Mhm.
Like and it's interesting too, like even with the political stuff, like I think that Anna's dad, I think that her knowledge of magazines and print through her dad like taught her the foundation, but I think that she had it in her mind that a magazine needed to be turned into a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like I think she had that vision like before even like Martha Stewart living and
Mhm.
like Oprah and all of the lifestyle brands that came to be. Like she really wanted Vogue to be like a one-stop shop for like a specific kind of woman, and that was not a thing. Like, you know,
Yeah.
she slowly turned Vogue into like being this like a name that means so much more than just like a magazine. Like she did turn it into a lifestyle.
Yeah. Well, speaking of the politics, getting that from her father, something else about just the context of this article is like within the tabloid world of it, because she was during this time, because of the affair, really in the tabloids. And they were, because um her her boyfriend, her hot toddy, was a huge he was a huge Democratic Party donor. And he was
Hmm.
very connected in the political world. Everyone was talking about how Anna was getting into politics and putting more politics in the magazine, because she had
Mm,
recently put Hillary Clinton on the cover and everything, that she was getting into that because of this affair. Um,
right.
and that it, she was not getting a ton of credit for that. And also, they talk about during this time, she's also like over Vogue. She's burnt out and she doesn't want to do it anymore. And it kind of, to a degree, sounds like making it up a touch, just sort of building a narrative about her that
Yeah.
she is this woman who is a giant in her industry. Now it's time to take her down
Hmm.
and to sort of minimize the the direction that she's taking things in, that it has to be because a man was teaching her about politics, when it's like, no, she comes from a an activist and a publishing a publisher.
I'm so glad that that was your takeaway from that because that was what I got, but I didn't know if I was just trying to like, if I'm too in it because I'm reading that book, or I was like,
Yeah.
is that like that felt so forced and so made up and just so not actually where she was. Like, if anything, in 1999, she was like kind of just getting started with
Yeah.
turning the magazine around. Like all of her best ideas are like about to happen or are to come. So that's like actually the total opposite. Them saying that she was like not into it. It's like no, she was like the most into it at this point.
And it's so weird that that was the narrative that they wanted to run with, because in the article you see that her protege who is 35 years old, like she's looking to do the next step of her career. She's been doing this for a while.
Right.
If she actually thought that she was going to take on Anna's role, like if she thought that that was imminent, she probably would have stayed, but she got the sense that no, this ain't happening. And on top of
Yeah.
it, Anna brought in a 29-year-old uh, young editor to sort of that Kate didn't want to work with, and she would basically pit them against each other,
Yeah.
and she was sick of that as well. But she she clearly had no intentions of passing the reins over to her. So it's interesting that
Yeah.
that was the narrative that they wanted to run with, was that actually she's becoming human. She's actually going to be taken down by some good dick, and she's sick of doing this job. Ugh.
Isn't it crazy that she had set such a bar for herself that like her just like getting highlights and like sauntering into the office with a smile meant that she was like slipping, that they were like,
Yeah,
oh, she's not into it anymore. Like that's how high the bar was, that those little tiny things meant that she was like falling off.
it's tough to be a woman, Troy.
God, it's crazy, and it's all about preservation.
Mm-hmm,
That's all it
mm-hmm.
is. Like, I just think that she's all about preservation, and that's why it's like she knows that the work is the most important thing to her. It's like really the only thing that matters in her life. And
Yeah,
all of these things help preserve like the coldness, the not showing her personality in public, the reservedness, the not connecting to people, not getting involved in people's emotions, eating the same thing every day. It's like preservation.
yeah,
It's really
yeah.
sick. Like it's really like Jesus. It's like you said earlier, it's like I don't know whether to be inspired or like kind of horrified sometimes.
Yeah, I wonder how I don't know, because she clearly does have uh there's emotionality there. Her friends that are close to her say as much, but she still doesn't have a ton. Like in the
Yeah.
book, it talked about how Oscar de la Renta, after the Met Gala, that was right after this article came out, she was officially like out with her new man. They were a couple. He went to the Met Gala with her and then left before it was over. And Oscar said that he had only seen her cry twice in their whole relationship. And once was when she realized that he had left her before it
Mm-hmm.
was over. And the other
Yeah.
time was when her father died.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's
it's
crazy when
in
she like
there.
yeah, when she has those extreme emotion moments, it's like you don't breathe. You're like, whoa, whoa, whoa,
Can
Anna's
you
crying.
can you imagine?
No, I really can't. I really can't. Especially because like I don't know. There's so much lore around her. Like just
Mm,
her physical presence is like so intense.
yeah. Well, I have this thought, and it's very stupid, but I want your take on it.
Okay. Love
You know
stupid.
how you always talk about how, a celebrity needs to have lore to like
Hmm.
truly reach superstardom.
Hmm.
I was also thinking, is a great like complimentary thing that you can do to achieve that is have some sort of signature look that could easily be interpreted as a Halloween costume.
Dara, that's not stupid at all. Like, yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's like not dumb at all. Absolutely. I think people that can commit to that, it's amazing. Like it really is like, wow, like that's a real level of commitment to like your like world that you're building.
It's world building. Yeah.
Hmm.
You know, Lisa Rinna has the hair and the lips.
Yeah.
That's it's worked for her.
I
Lady
mean, is it
Gaga,
not?
those are a bunch of Halloween costumes. Take your pick.
It's extremely. I mean, that fucking Eminem, all they did was give her Lisa Rinna hair, and we knew what it was. It is like
Uh,
there's
People
something to be
aren't doing
said.
signature looks anymore, are they? Except for like, I gotta hand it to Kat Cohen. She's got
Yeah,
her signature winged eyeliner, but I don't know. The new guard of celebrities need to think of their signature looks, their Halloween costumes.
that's why I love. I gotta hand it to Sabrina, and I gotta hand it
Sabrina.
uh
Mm-hmm.
uh to Zara because
Mm-hmm.
when I see like an airbrushed dolphin,
You know,
I'm thinking of her.
it's good branding. It's
I'm
good
under the
branding.
midnight sun. It's
Troy,
true.
what we should think of some signature looks.
Okay. I just start wearing a bob wig. I'm like,
I
just
like
go
that.
with it, okay?
Or we could even just do like a clip-on side bang.
Should we start recording with like berets to the side every single time, a different color?
Okay, that could be fun. That could be
Yeah.
really fun. All right.
And we don't even talk about it. We just do it.
Oh no, you don't talk about the look. It's just like
Yeah.
look speaks for itself, of course.
No, I think that that's like I think that that's the next level of commitment. I think it's really, especially if you do it like in her case, it's like not even like she's doing it because she like wants that to be her hair, you know?
Yeah.
Not because she's Dolly Parton and it's like showbiz, baby. It's like, no, this is what I want to look like.
And that is the most authentic. That is really successful when it's just this is me, baby.
What do
I'd
you
love
think
this
about
haircut.
her? What do you think about her being so unapologetically an evil cunt at the same time? Like being like no fats, pro fur. Like the way that she's like, I love fur. I don't give a fuck what you think about it, what you think about it. I'm wearing fur. Like there are moments in the book where they talk about her. She like wears fur to the office like almost daily. And she's like literally Cruella DeVille. And there are times when she'll wear something. There's one moment in particular they talk about where she wears this like I want to say it was a coat, like a floor length fur coat that's like $10,000. Like something that is completely insane to wear to the office at like 6:30 in the morning. And to her it's like it's almost like rebellious. Like she's like, "No, I'm wearing the fur." It's crazy.
Well, there's this I love this other part of the article where it says there it says not long ago when animal rights activists dumped a dead raccoon on her plate in this very room, Wintour coolly ordered a waiter to remove the offending animal and continued with her meal.
The way PETA terrorized her and she would purposely not react. So that was a real thing that they put a dead
Yeah.
animal on her plate at a restaurant in front of everybody to humiliate her, and she refused to react.
It feels so New York to have PETA ruin like a very expensive, gorgeous fur piece, like
Hmm.
at Fashion Week or whatever. Like it feels just like so New York.
Yeah,
Like, oh,
it is. It's like when Samantha gets the fur or the paint thrown on her fur, and she's like, "It feels so good to be back in New York." It is very New York to have PETA like be violent with you in public.
it, uh, but to your question, how do I feel about? I mean, it's one of those things where it's a little bit separating the art from the artist. in the
Mm-hmm.
sense of I personally do not agree with saying no one who is fat can work at this office. I don't, my values don't personally align with that. Um, my values do not personally align with fur, but I do enjoy the lore of it. Like, I guess the art from the
Mm-hmm.
artist here is I love her lore more so than even just thinking about Vogue and liking her output. I enjoy the lore of the character, and it's like, well, yeah, that's another interesting, quirky part of her character study.
Mm-hmm. I 1000% understand what you're saying. I get that.
Yeah.
Because it's
Okay.
like, it just adds to her already unusual, like, eccentric personality that she's so passionately,
Yes.
uh, like, plants her feet about certain things that are like so taboo. It's crazy.
Yes.
And like I mean, it's one thing to like wear the fur. It's one thing to be like, no, I'm going out every day in a fur. But then to purposely photograph the fur and have it in the magazine and force Vogue readers to engage with the fur
Yeah.
when they are asking her not to is like absolutely crazy. Like it's so Anna vibes.
Yeah, I can't imagine what it's like to be married to her. It seems
Oh
like
my
just
God.
she gets on something
Yeah.
and it doesn't matter if you have a point or not. It seems like maybe she just gets fixated on something and decides like with some very black and white thinking of like, no, this is how it should be.
Yeah.
And so that means it should not be the other way. So I'm
Yeah.
going to jam this down your throat because we are not doing it another way.
And that's on autism, baby.
Listen, was I teeing that up? Yes, I was.
I know. No, but it is like it's crazy. I mean, even down to her, like, like I said earlier, no matter what office she was working in, she just kind of became the boss of that office. And the boss would even be like, I guess
I guess
Anna
I
the
work for
boss?
you now.
Yeah, like she just like sets up her office and you know revolves the whole office around her likes and her wishes, and she retrains everybody around her to do things as she sees them, and it doesn't matter if they see it as logical or if it makes sense to them. Like they just need to know that that's how it will be done, and then she bounces to the next magazine.
I She just wants to make a bunch of Annas in her image.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. She's like, you will all have bobs by the time I leave here. Oh my God. It's crazy though. She is so interesting. I'm so scared of her from afar.
I know. Listen, if this ever comes across her desk, we love you, Anna.
We love you, Anna, and we are both also no fats. All girls should be able to wear a pencil skirt to the office comfortably and a heel. It is a demand.
That's how we run the What's Your Issue offices.
Yes. In your image, Anna. In your image, we're both draped in furs. Oh,
Well,
do you
Troy,
miss anything? Is there anything that you feel like we didn't cover?
I feel like I talked about everything I was moved to talk about. I think I've
Yeah.
exhausted the issue.
Well, I would love to know your thoughts when you get real deep into the book.
Yes.
I want to know
Yes.
what you think because I think that it's gonna really you're going to take to this book.
Ooh. Yeah, I just read the chapter that coincided with this article, but I'm going to go back to the beginning and lap up the lore.
And to you guys listening, if you're into audiobooks, it's read by her name is Imogen Church. She's the best. Like award-winning, incredible. She does voices. She has an Anna voice that is now Anna's voice in my head more than Anna's actual voice. Like,
Yeah.
she's so good.
It's a very sexy British voice to just lull
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
Lull
it
you
is
into
really sexy.
submission.
Yeah, she has this specific tone that she takes when Anna's like annoyed, and she'll be like, just get it away from me. And like, it's really subtle, but it is so like, like I get scared, you know?
Well, this was fun. We love you all. Our listeners, subscribe on Patreon. We've got bonus episodes there, and leave us a rating and review, please. Tell your friends about us, you know?
You are all as special to us as Anna's first stoles are to her. We love you.
We love you. We love you all.
Bye.
Bye.